it's Miss Jones and welcome to our art lesson. Last week we talked about the 3 different types of color and how to organize them on the color wheel. As we move forward in our color month, we're going to be talking about color schemes, or sometimes called color palettes. A color scheme is a combination of colors from the color wheel. Usually these combinations evoke different moods or tones. Many art disciplines often use color schemes, such as interior design and graphic design. Today, we will be focusing on what's called a triadic color scheme. Triadic means the colors within this scheme are equal distant from each other on the color wheel. So when you connect the colors, it creates a perfect triangle, hence the word triadic. Both color groups, primary and secondary, fall within the category of a triadic color scheme. This means for today's project, we're going to be focusing on the primary colors. One artist who is famous for using a primary triadic color scheme was Piet Mondrian. He is a Dutch painter who helped build the abstract art movement in the early 20th century. He would cover his canvas with thick black horizontal and vertical lines to create a series of rectangles and squares, which he would then fill with one of the primary colors, gray or black. Today, Mondrian's simplistic block style has been replicated by many artists and designers in pretty much all aspects of culture since the 1920s. Today we're going to be taking inspiration from Mondrian's style and kind of creating our own picture using his style of design, which included those 3 primary colors. And also we're going to use black and kind of the white of our paper also. So we're gonna kind of create a cool, fun picture. It's a really awesome pattern and kind of just a therapeutic, fun kind of style to kind of emulate. So we're going to use it to kind of practice our triadic color scheme. So what you're going to need today is you're going to need a blank white piece of paper. You'll need a pencil. You're also going to need something to color with, but you're going to need the 3 primary colors. So we're going to do a triadic color scheme. So red, yellow, and blue. I mentioned that secondary colors are also a triadic color scheme, so you could use purple, orange, and green if you really wanted to, but I'm going to stick with the kind of traditional Mondrian style. It kind of looks a little bit more like his work, more recognizable with the primary colors. So have those. And then also a black marker. It can be a skinny black marker. I might use a skinny one. Fat Sharpie or big marker, whichever one you like. I have all 3 just in case. I might use a skinny one at some point. I might use a fat one. Kind of just depends. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need a ruler here. So we're going to make straight lines. Mondrian used straight vertical and horizontal lines. So we need a straight edge or a ruler for that. And then the last thing, we're gonna need something to draw because his style, yes, they were kind of blocky, but I wanted to make it look a little bit more interesting. So we're going to draw either an animal or an object, something like that to kind of put this pattern on. So I found a picture of a fish that I'm gonna be using. You can find kind of a picture of any animal. You could even do a cartoon if you had a style of a cartoon animal you wanted to do. If you wanted to do an object, that's fine too, like a couch or a lamp. Maybe there's something in your room you can kind of look at and draw. That's fine too. I'm going to use this picture of this fish to kind of replicate today. So we're going to start out our project by drawing our image. So if you may recall, at least 4th and 5th grade, you may recall us doing what's called a contour line drawing. And let me remind you of what a contour line drawing is. Contour line drawing is just drawing kind of the simple outline of our object or what we're trying to replicate. So we're not going to be putting too much detail. You can see there's kind of a lot going on this fish. I've got scales, I've got whatever. We don't have to do all those. We're kind of just focusing on the main simple shape there. And I chose the fish because I know how to draw fish. I've drawn a fish before. So I'm kind of just using this as a reference. But you can always draw something from your imagination too, if you'd rather. If you go, oh, I know how to draw this animal, I'm going to draw it like this. Go for it. But I kind of like having a reference. So I'm going to do, first start out by doing my contour line drawing here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of outline our fish or our drawing here. So I have my fish, but I would outline your drawing. You can either use kind of a fat Sharpie, thin Sharpie, kind of whatever you like, whatever you think will work best. I think I might use a thick Sharpie just because. So I'm gonna follow my lines that I made. I like doing it in pencil first just because it kind of gives me some time to kind of correct any imperfections. I don't have to be as like steady. So now that you have your fish or whatever you have, your drawing all done and outlined, I'm gonna make sure all my pencil marks are gone. So now we get to start adding our Mondrian kind of pattern onto here. So you're gonna need your ruler. And like I said, it's kind of these big, bold, black horizontal and vertical lines, kind of all different which way, that kind of criss and cross. You can either go straight in with marker if you want, or you can start with pencil and then kind of trace the lines you want to keep, because not all of his lines are like perfectly like a grid. Like it's not like we're just gonna do, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and cross them all. So you kind of have some choice to make this a little bit more interesting. So I'm gonna start with my pencil and I'm gonna go kind of do maybe a few horizontal lines. They can be close together, they can be far apart maybe. And I'm just gonna do kind of a couple all across my fish here. And now I'm gonna start to do maybe some vertical lines. So the thing about Mondrian is not all of his shapes are the same. So like maybe I'll do it like that and I'll stop. So I'm not gonna go all the way down. And maybe I'll keep this kind of like a rectangle like that. So we're gonna kind of add some horizontal lines kind of wherever you see fit maybe. like I said, they can be close together, they can be far apart, they could be, you could only do it in one section, like maybe I just want to do it like that, like up there, or maybe I just want to do it kind of like in this section here, just like that. So you can kind of pick and choose where you want to put your lines to kind of chop up your animal or object. So I'm going to kind of switch back and forth between horizontal and vertical. I can make really tiny little squares if I want. Maybe in here I'll make little tiny vertical lines. So that's why I kind of want to do pencil first, so I can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit more, and so if I accidentally go through all the way through with a pen, I don't have to be like, oh no, I messed up. I'm kind of practice first with my pencil first. But remember, these lines are going to be all just horizontal and vertical, so only vertical and horizontal, no diagonal lines. They're going to be just kind of up and down like this. Oh, see, I kind of messed up my line there. Whoop. But go ahead and start adding some more of these. You can have a ton of lines, or you can have not so many lines, kind of whatever you're thinking here. It's up to you. I might do a few different ones, but like I said, maybe I'll create like a couple blocks like this, or maybe like a big one here. So you can kind of chop it up. I'm excited to see how these turn out. Kind of divided my fish up. I kind of found my lines. I'm gonna now go in with a Sharpie and kind of put my lines down permanently now, because we want them to be nice and thick and kind of stand out. So I'm gonna do kind of these big lines, hold my ruler really tight so I can not wobble it. Again, you can use a fat marker, small marker, whatever you like. I kind of like the big bold marker. But this way I kind of can look and see my lines a little bit more, so I won't kind of mess up. I can really concentrate and look to see where my line is going. But I'm just going to do all my horizontal lines first, since I don't really want to switch up, you know, have to go like back and forth like this. So I'm just going to do all my horizontal lines first, and then I'll switch to my vertical lines. I think I'm pretty good with my fish. I kind of like how he looks. He's all patterned up here. So now that we've finished our design, we get to start adding our colors. So go ahead and grab your markers, your primary colors, your Triadic color scheme. You can use black as well. That's also okay. It's part of the kind of the style here, but we're going to start coloring in some of our boxes and that we created. So you can leave some blank, like leave them white, but then you can start to fill different ones in with these colors here. So we're going to use these as our scheme. So it doesn't really matter where you put your different colors. It's kind of up to you. I don't know, I'm just gonna start filling mine in and kind of see what happens. If you want, maybe you could do, okay, I want some yellow here, yellow here, yellow here, and then maybe switch to red and do some red and then do some blue. I think that's what I might do, is just kind of start filling them in and then see kind of what comes to mind as I go. Sure you leave some of your squares white. It's a big part of it is to leave some blank, some white. We don't want to fill in every single square. First, that would take forever, and then it wouldn't really give us the same kind of effect, I don't think. Usually there's going to be more kind of white sections than colored sections, because we're going to try and kind of space out our colors a little bit more. All right, everyone, I finished my Mondrian fish here. There you have it. We have kind of our blocky pattern. I left a lot of white space because it kind of breaks up the image a little bit. Some places, I think if you have too much color, it might kind of lose its effect. The Triadic color scheme. So I left a lot of blank spaces. I put some black in there to kind of break up the color as well. But it's totally okay if you put color on top of color, you know, connecting these squares here, and add a little bit. I might want to add a little color here someplace. I don't know. But it looks fine to me. I'm really happy with it and how it turned out. It gives it kind of that fun, kind of stylistic design look. So go ahead and make sure you write your name on here. Maybe date it so you know when you made it. But there you go, our Mondrian fish. If you wanted to add something to it, you could, but I kind of like it plain like this. It's very chic and design-like. So there you go. If you want to try something else, like try another design or animal with maybe the secondary colors, that would be cool too. You could use just orange, green, and purple, and kind of see how that color scheme looks together as well. That's another option there. So thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this project and kind of learned a little bit about a famous artist in history and took on their style for a change. So thank you, everyone. Have a great week. Bye.